Today we're going to be making liquid cultures. You don't need a lot for this, and it's one of the easier processes of mushroom cultivation. Also, in terms of being in a sterile environment, this is a process you can get away with working in the kitchen if you need to. For the fact that everything is going to go into the pressure cooker for 15 to 20 minutes at 15 psi anyway to sterilize everything that's in the jar. So for making liquid cultures, I use imitation honey. It's corn syrup and honey mixed in. I've used organics. I've used maple syrup. At the end of the day, it all kind of grew out the same. Never really had a problem. So what you're gonna do first is you're gonna take your scale, turn it on, zero it out. So not before doing this. Excuse me. Place your jar on, zero it out. You're going to want to prepare your lid in this fashion. You can also use aluminum foil over top if you wanted, but I prefer to use lids. There's also plastic mason jar lids you can get reusable, some already pre-made with a micro filter patch like I have on the outside and the inside of the lid. And I will be putting an injector port here as well. So water, you're going to want 288 grams of water. If you're a little over, a little under, it's not going to matter. You just want to have a nice ratio of honey to water. 14 grams of your honey or your sugar. A magnetic stir stick. Eighth-inch hole injector port. There's one. Yeah, I have some spores coming in the mail. And they're coming today, so I wanted to go ahead and get this prepped up. Type of water you use doesn't matter. Distilled, sterilized, purified, tap water. Yep, all I'm doing is water and honey in a mason jar. That's all you need for a liquid culture. There's definitely more advanced ways that can produce higher yields and grow your cultures a little faster. But it's all personal preference. This is quick, this is simple. Stir stick. You'll see why that's important here in a minute. All right, put your other injector port in. Put the lid on tight, lid on tight. Right there, all your honey's settled in the bottom. We gotta get that mixed up first. Before I do that, I take some autoclave tape. And with the method I'm using, I have, knock on wood, I have yet to come across contamination from my cultures. All right, next on your magnetic stir, which are fairly cheap. You can get one for about 10 or 15 bucks on Amazon. Check this out. There, so it's a little slow at first. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna move your jar closer to the edge of where that magnetism is, and you're gonna get all that honey mixed up. Increase the speed. There you go. Do that for about 2 to 3 minutes. All of the honey, you should have all of that dissolved before you take it off. All right, so we're all mixed up. Get yourself some aluminum foil. All right, pressure cook. When that starts whistling, you're going to want to start your timer for 15 to 20 minutes. I usually hit somewhere in the middle around 17, 18 minutes. Like I said, I've never had a jar be contaminated or culture not grow. Knock on wood, hopefully it stays that way. I also have some bird seed over here soaking. I'll do a different video for that. Typically I use corn for my grain spawn. It does take longer for that to go across the whole bag, to inoculate the whole bag. I guess because the kernels are larger. It also takes longer prep for soaking. You want to soak those for 24 hours. Bird seed, you want to do about 12 hours of soaking, about an hour of boiling, and then a half hour straining, getting it down to room temperature before adding it to your jars. But I'll show all that in what my process is. But this is how I make liquid culture. It's, I'm going to get a little more advanced with it when once I have my lab and everything set up in the basement, which is we're about 30% probably along the way on that so far. So right now we'll have to keep using these means for the time being. Then I'll add more nutrients and start messing around with the jars and seeing what works best and so forth, at least for my grow where I'm at in my area. So anyway, thanks for joining me. Once again, 15 to 20 minutes on the pressure cooker. Turn it off, let it cool down before you put anything in it. And I will show the process of when I add my spores. My spores should be here tonight, so I'll put them in these jars tomorrow. All right, thanks.